We're live.
Looking forward to doing some diagramming with that diagram library I stumbled across the other day.
Well, let's just jump right into it then. So, hey, no, let's. So here we are today, guys. Welcome. Today we are streaming. I'm not going to hide it from the world because this is real TV. Today I had a billing issue with Restream.io, and Mario just had to hear it all. But now they've enabled my account with much more endpoints, and then we're streaming across the React group, the Node group, my personal YouTube, Learn to Code, LinkedIn, even, my gosh, Twitch, Periscope, React.js, Node.js. That means that we're going to have at least 4 live viewers to this, and also the JavaScript group. Welcome, everybody. My favorite and only person who meets me to go live lately is Mario
That's because
Redberry.
everyone else has better sense. I'm just saying.
Maybe something to do, too. They're probably hanging out at Subway or Starbucks. Real important stuff, you know.
Eat fresh.
But here we are. What do you think of my new office, my new studio?
Bro, you're crushing it. I gotta say, I really liked the painting video the other day, and I got to see you get your hands dirty, literally and figuratively, while you were going through some video reviews. It looks good, man. I
Okay.
like the ambiance. That underlighting is really neat.
Yeah, isn't it? It's a really old classic lamp. Thanks for noticing. Hey Google,
Seriously.
who's Mario Roberti? No, I'm kidding. He's a famous DJ, right? Let's just.
That's right. If you Google Mario Roberti, you're gonna find some famous DJ. No relation, but maybe
No
I'll try and
relation.
ride his coattails one of these days.
Oh Lord. Yeah, well we'll play some of his music in the background. We'll get his approval. All right, so.
We don't need his approval. I am Mario Roberti, and I approve this music. They didn't say which.
So dear Mario, how the heck you been? I'm so glad we're doing this on the fly.
It's
Uh,
great.
For everybody at home, and especially you, Mario, we've had 153 hours watch time. And anybody watching this, I want you to know that it's like a video game doing this live stream stuff. They say, don't watch the numbers, just produce quality content. And you know, I'm not capable of doing that on my end. So it's really just about the numbers. So when everybody watches this right now for all of 2 minutes, do me a favor and take a PC in the back room, put it on our playlist at the 3 hours and hours of stuff on loop, turn the volume down, and just go ahead and use that bandwidth that you're not using and help us get up to the 4,000 watch hour mark. Can you believe that, Mario? 4,000.
Dude, that is nuts, actually. I'm really, really stoked that people think that we can help them along their journey to learning JavaScript. And that's something I take very seriously, Gene.
Speaking of which, we've been kind of hacking on a project that you have that's for something that you've been working on for a long time. We've talked about it in the other videos, Artificial Galaxies, which has really come into its own. And so, just sort of from the top down, if we look at artificialgalaxies.com, it's a brand new WordPress website that you put together. And go ahead and join. Anybody who's out there watching, go ahead and become one of our first users. Um, it literally looks like the fonts aren't showing up now. Did you mess with this, Mario? What's going
Well,
on?
Chad, I got to be honest. You're a professional web developer, so I went in there and just messed everything up. That's for a future video on fixing a broken ass WordPress site and choosing a different theme. But head there anyways. It's fantastic. There's a lot of
You did
blog
change the
posts
theme.
from 2017 and 2018 dealing with my object oriented tack on creating game data based on like a sci-fi RPG type galaxy with aliens, empires, species, borders, ships, star systems,
Wow.
planets, etc. It's
You
pretty
have
good.
done a lot of work on this.
I have,
Yeah, good job. I
in
didn't even
addition to
notice.
breaking it.
Can I complain about the font? Is that.
Absolutely, it's Roboto condensed, which
Mm,
is one of the Android fonts out there, and that was the
mm.
default for that one theme from Thrive. There are four that we have, so.
It's going to grow on me, you know?
Oh, I was just messing with the colors, so don't judge too harshly.
So don't get out the boo audio.
Boo!
So we've got some.
No.
I mean, if Leon Lush, if we can somehow leak into his user base, who's just like, what's Node.js?
That guy's
What's
a
React?
genius.
Yeah, he's a genius. So we've got some props. We've got. Don't say the name out loud. Google. I'll see you later, Mario. Oh, you're
No,
back. We got Google. Oh, you got to say, hey, Google, right? Hey, Google. How's it going?
It's a good day.
all right,
She
could
had
be
to go
worse.
back to like Central Core and figure it out. And then we've got computer here, also known as version 2 of the Alexa. So yeah, everything is being listened to here. Hey computer. Hey computer. Are
No, no, no.
you
No,
dead?
no, Nachi.
Hey computer. How are you doing?
I'm feeling contented. Like when you have all day to reread one of your favorite books.
Cool. So it's just really
All right.
popping over here. Give it 5 more years and we'll be best friends. But anyways, thanks for burning it out, guys. These are our other props. They tell bad jokes. There's things I know to ask them that we shouldn't say on TV, so they will say some crazy shit. We're doing the boo. I know you can't hear it, but okay. So we got boo, we got applause, we got your site. Nice job on that. It's feeling more real. Um, it really does. It's come a long way. So we've got artificialgalaxies.com, guys. Smash that like button. Smash that like button. Guys, smash that like button.
All right. You don't have to, guys. But if you ever see Georgie's boat in the sewage, then
I found Georgie's boat, guys. I found Georgie's boat. He must be around here somewhere, guys. And then he's like, I'm just going to play with it in the lake
no.
here. Like, that was so stupid. I'm stupid. But back into reality here, where we're serious about coding, we got this artificial galaxies, and what? You know what? Why are we not pushing to artificial galaxies live feed, man?
Bruh,
Oh
that thing is so
man,
not ready for prime time. It's
what are you
so
talking
broken.
about? I'm talking about our group on Facebook, dude.
Oh, the Facebook. Yeah, no, I kind of
Next
spaced
time.
out on that.
Oh, pun intended. Pun intended.
Okay, yeah, no, it was totally.
We're going to run an analytics on the end point of this. So everybody watching at home, pretty much Noe in the other room, we're going to have you click on Artificial Galaxies and follow along. And go ahead and subscribe and like and smash and share.
Smash
and,
that like button.
And tweet, retweet. What, did I miss any? Yeah, and friend.
I'm going to ruin everything and make my shirt.
You know, Noe's not in here.
Damn.
Oh, look, I can invite Chase Reiner to this. There we go.
No way. I thought we were down, bro.
Yeah, no, he's not on my friends list. It's the only connection. He's stuck with me every 5 minutes where I got a thought, but I'm like, Facebook will be your only escape. When it's actually not friended there. But I'll ask him tonight. Oh look, Kathleen Nash likes our video. Thank you, Kathleen, if you're watching. We now have 1.1 viewers. I'm gonna count these guys as a quarter of a half. Your shirt looks amazing, dude.
It's Homeworld 2's background.
Your beard, dude.
And my beard and my neck gobbler is now in space.
Bro, this might be the best thing. Why are we doing static 2D dimensional stuff when we got this to look at? This is what we're building. Whatever you got going on here.
Homie.
All right, then. Okay, so now we've brought it home. We've got a website. We've got a group. Those two are going to be linked. It's people from Facebook are going to come over through the group. They're going to realize that this is a big time thing. They'll join the website. We'll take their credit card, their PayPal, their Patreon, and we'll get rich. Then we're going to deliver them a really nice product. Which tell us a little bit about the product.
All right. For those of you that aren't nerds out there, I'll break it down in layman's terms. So when you're doing game design for space combat real-time strategy, you spend a lot of time dealing with the data, creating star systems, creating alien species, corporations, and like borders around the empires, etc. So anyways, what I did was instead of going down that rabbit hole while I was working on the game, I decided to stop working on the game temporarily, just work on the data generation. And I'm working with the developer of Coronium, which is based on OpenResty. And what it is it's a backend server based on OpenResty with Lua. And Chris Byerly is the developer of it. And so he's helping me leverage my skill set on Lua to provide a back-end software as a service product instead of having to like dive deep into the JavaScript or any one of the other, web package development and deployment systems on the back end. So that way, all my game stuff I can leverage using Lua and Corona. And now I gotta take what I can't do in Corona and jump in with you, Chad, and to get some help on doing some diagramming, letting people make their own little objects. It's basically JSON object modeling now, which is what I want to leverage that diagramming library for. And so anyways, that way everyone can make their own objects or take like custom prefab ones. and deploy it as one big honk of JSON data set, or they can make their own custom ones, star systems, planets, species, empires, or they can just go for star systems and they can model their own object like sandwiches or something. Each sandwich object's going to have a particular field like, toppings, condiments, etc. I mean, it can be that awesome. And that's what that diagramming library is going to be great for.
Okay.
I hope that made sense to anybody out there.
No, I just didn't know if I had my audio back on, but
I'm drinking a transparent drink right now.
Drink it. That's amazing. So that's a good overview because this thing's really building itself in real time. And I really would hate to say, let's not use React for this particular diagramming component. We're going to use the diagrammer because we've already looked into it. But what we do need to do for your application is we're going to probably want a Node Express server inside of it. And we're going to want a little API so it can pick up and serve data. So when someone does a call to the API, it takes whatever we're writing now and serves it over an endpoint. So that has to happen too. But what I did want to just draw your eyes to is that in the past when I've wanted to make a tool that actually, this one, yeah.
Yeah, I use that all the time, homie.
But what you didn't know is that it's also open source.
What?
Yeah, and you didn't also know that it's got about 7 other examples of how to make the UI lock certain fields, drag and drop images, just a number of different settings. So we're going to look at these guys as Node diagram editor, but I'll tell you this JSON editor is open source too. So
nice.
Yeah, and if you want, I can. You maybe we do a little investigation. I don't know. But let's take a look at your diagram stuff too, because you sent it to me. And it's in React, and we're on the React channel, but that's also, that thing's in JSON, JavaScript. So it was just, the coffee's going to get us going everywhere. What's the URL or name of that? It's the React diagrams, yes?
Yeah, I think it's called Project Storm Diagrams.
It is called that, and you'll notice that I've done some perusing.
Oh, there it is.
So I got a little confused because when I went and looked for like an alternate, I ran into these guys' other repo, and I was like, oh, I don't know. And then they had like a 404. So these are just a couple guys making a lot of code.
Yeah.
So much so that even their demo site. Let's go here, and let's take a look at their main page. So here's the Storm React diagram. What I normally do is overlook everything on the web to find out which one's going to get us the functionality the most efficiently, right? Because if we inherit a ton of code and it's just too much, it'd be like, ugh. But are we saying in a perfect world you could just have something like this out of the box?
I would.
Or is that
like
too much?
To. I mean, it's a lot of extraneous stuff. For example, I'm not going to be doing like UML, like auditing. I'm not going to be comparing that. I just want nodes with fields that I can fill out and model as JSON down the road.
Nodes with fields. Okay.
That's pretty much it. So they had fields up there, but they were considered like input nodes and output nodes, etc. Like where you see the name, description, ID, phone number, fax number, etc. Those are cool because I'd like a user to be able to create a new object, name it sandwich, have the different ingredients in it: lettuce, tomato, pickles. Those are strings. How many of each? Those are integers, and that's it. Keeping it very simple. Very high level is my view of it.
I'm with you. I'm just dreaming. About all this magic. So we're going to make some magic right now, and I'm also going to invite our boy Matt. I'm going to say, Matt, come on over. If he wants to join in and just tease me for my poor vernacular.
Matt, bruh, come on over, Matt.
I'm going to say, hey, Matt. Mario and I are wearing nothing but a towel. No.
I'm wearing Homeworld.
And I are working a bit on Artifiicial Galaxies. If you want to join us on Zoom, you're more than welcome. All who have this link may come. No, they won't get that joke. Shall come? Can come? Come on in. Can come on in.
Should I maybe tag team him also and be like, Matt, bruh.
Well, so that's the come in on the back way, but if they want to watch us, then they can go ahead and go to any one of our main channels And I'm just going to go over to YouTube and show the world that's just astounded by our pre-project planning. This is post version 2. We met aside, we're meeting together, we're going to test stuff out. You can see I've been really watching some compelling stuff, like how to improve yourself here. Like, what am I watching? Not really. Yeah. Let's go to our YouTube channel. You know, isn't that great? It's just an easy way to get some clickbait going here. We,
Nerd.
I've been doing some research for YouTube, and that's like I Leon Lush. Just love him. Smash that like button. Smash that like. Hey,
Guys.
You're not gonna believe it. Guys, you gotta shake this.
Never believe this.
Guys, George is behind me, guys. He's coming after me. Did they look good that time?
Dude, I like that. There was just enough distortion in there.
And here's Chase. He was live a few minutes ago too. This was really awesome. I really want you to meet these guys. They go live a lot. He had a friend on who does cold call sales. So, anyways, oh, look at that. There we are live right there in the React feed from me updating Mario's code base. So this is how we look out on the YouTube world, being amazing. Just stare right next to Leon Lush. Beautiful, bro.
I'm honored. Homie.
Okay. So we know we're live. I just want to double check the landing page that we are. There we are right there. And I believe you can get the share button here, save to playlist. Nothing like doing your actual job while you're doing your job. So let's cut this bad boy. Let's go back over to Discord, or we'll say, or watch us live in full envy and amusement here, right?
Matt's probably like, who the hell is Mario?
He knows who you are, bro.
Bruh.
Victoria's coding? Give me a break. What a shocker. I'm going to tell her to come join us. I'm going to say, hey. She hasn't read any of my Discord, so I'm sure she'll get this one. Hey. Me and Mario are live on the internet. Come on into the Zoom and tell bad jokes with us. Technical ones.
The fellas.
Star technical. Yeah. Whoops, wrong link. Damn it!
Oh,
no.
Snap.
I meant to say. Let's finish up this thought process, and then we're gonna dive deep into. You know why I stalled? It's because I'm not that good at coding sometimes on some of this stuff, and I just gotta stop stalling and just prove it out. Let's get good at it. I go to bed knowing where my flaws are, though. Like yesterday, I was working on your stuff. I think it was yesterday for the form. So we can take a look at that too. So on the client side of the application, there's a way to get data. Maybe these guys' stuff will automatically do it, but we want to run their demo now. So let's go look at their demo live. Take a look at diagram demos. From my perspective, I was like pretty impressed. What the hell, dude? React diagrams. Where's their link? Thank you. But I was also uncertain if we can get this stuff to run. Did they just put me in a loop? Take a look at the diagram demos.
Go ahead. Take a look at the demos. Bruh,
I'm blowing this, man.
Nah, it was from another site. Hang on.
It's right here, demo. projectstorm.cloud/React diagram. I got it. Oh, okay, we got to close out the show, guys. Thanks for coming by.
Love your show. Never changed. It's been great. Let's circle back next week as we take on UML diagramming and validation between multi-tiered object architecture and JSON and BSON data formats. All right, I'm Mario Roberti. That's Chad Collins. Thanks a lot for attending. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
No, we're going to stay on.
Okay.
I'm going to stay on. I'm going live. I was supposed to go live at 8 a.m. this morning when I had something to say. But I actually I did some work.
You had to have a sandwich.
Yeah, they started with the sandwich. Then I fought with Restream, which I like their service a lot. I just didn't like their billing practices. Good Lord. So here we are looking at simple example. And we've got a node. I love this. Like, some of this functionality out of the box is pretty impressive. I just don't know functionally, can I edit that? So like which particular, talk to me.
See, again, they're all really based on these, they're like program flow or like data diagramming through flow from start to finish.
Sure.
I'm more about making a UML diagrammer, but without the UML validation, basically a JSON diagram. So for that node, I'd love to be able to click on it, rename that sucker. I'd like to have a shortcut key or a button where I could add labels beneath it, which would be JSON properties. And then I'd like also to be able to add like methods, which would be kind of like a class diagrammer, I guess, at the end of the day, all said and done. So methods, properties, that's it. And then be able to serialize that on out as JSON data and then be done with it.
Sounds so easy. So we might take this in a staged approach. I think that their UI is cool. They do have a lot of open issues, so the paint is still drying on some of this, and I'm not sure
Yeah.
how like personally deeply in love we want to get with a provider unless we start contributing. Um, and also, if we don't have a working demo that's exactly what you want right out of the box, then it's really not plug and play. And it doesn't mean we can't code against it, but we've got other stuff to code, and we don't meet very often. So that's why I think that maybe if we can't find a working model that's close, we don't abandon them, but we also look around the web, maybe at React, but also maybe at the live editor that we looked at, and we say, does this functionally solve what you need for phase one for a functional prototype? And then you make the decision because we can dive in. I just like you said, I don't see anything here that's like. I did see one. Have you played with all of these?
Yes,
What's the one that's closest to what you want?
none of them.
Right. And so,
uh,
like, that's what I was kind of ranting about by myself Monday was just that it's so easy to call code legacy, but there really is no replacement. Like, jQuery being dead, supposedly, which it's not, has a 77% install on the web still, and there's working code out there right now that will do what we want in that particular approach. So the React.js guys cover your ears, but if we want to get to a working model, we're gonna have to look for another React diagrammer maybe. So did you
I
look
was
around?
I've been doing a lot of due diligence, and so far the only things I'm coming up with are commercial solutions for like $1,500, or old school jQuery libraries, which could fit the bill. I'm not totally averse to that. I was trying to keep it more on the React side to keep it in line with some of the channel and video tags and properties. So I did do a lot of searching for like object modelers, UML modelers, basic like charting type libraries for the past couple of days.
Was there a
Yeah,
second place? Was there at all a second place? Did you run across anything you're like, this is exactly what I want, regardless of the technology?
there's been one. It was based on Electron. It's an open source like application itself that you can download for free. It's completely free. It's called Star UML, and it's extensible. It has plugin architecture, a well-documented API, but I just know so little about Electron and JavaScript itself that I can't actually make it do what I want. So that might be more of a rabbit hole.
No.
And again, that's a third party instead of a web-based solution. So I wasn't sure how good a fit it would be for some of our streamings and channels and whatnot. So
I think it fits because you might be surprised to know that we have an Electron group with 25 users and they're not live on this. But and I've also got a couple of years Electron experience, and it's got ES6 JavaScript, the Chromium engine, which we're actually using here in the Chrome browser, and it uses Node, and you can actually shoehorn React into that too. And and you can also isolate other UIs such as like page views. So we can run other applications like modular, much like Python Flask, that has like the module model. So when you say Electron, I say that's my shit. No, I'm just kidding. I was like, I get all excited. But let's
it's
talk about, yeah. I mean, would your users go to a page on Artificial Galaxies and it's like download our desktop builder app, and you hit it, and it's basically a thin client that runs Chrome and it has all the tools. Can we see this thing? What's it called? Electron what? Star?
it's called staruml.io is the site, and it's basically a UML modeler, which is pretty perfect for what I'm after.
Ooh, this doesn't. Well, let's. Does it have source?
I don't know. It's free, and that it's the plugin architecture is open source and well
Wow.
documented. I don't know if itself is or not.
Look at
So
pimp. Okay, download by extensions. All right. Well, that would have been a big. That would be a big win if it was open source or like access source. Um, let's type in
it's
the word.
basically built in with a Nagware model. So if you don't
Yeah.
pay for it, every time you save, it'll go, "Oh, are you sure you don't want to buy it?" And you're like, "No," and then it's like, "Okay, later." And I've played around with the
Here's the repos.
writing the plugins to actually export it into Lua, and I got it kind of working. I've just been hammering it so terribly because of my lack of skill set on the JavaScript end, but I've got it doing kind of what I'm after. So
What made you think it was Electron? Where's the Electron source?
it says it's based on Electron when you go to the help page where it gives you an overview of writing plugins for it.
Okay, so that's what looks like we're on this repos that they're off. They're doing a plugin model, but maybe they're not giving away their entire core. I'm just trying to find if they say, hey, we're open source, you can have all of it, but if you want to buy it, you get support. And like if that'd be okay
They,
too, can we?
yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
because
see.
I see this star UML Git book.
Yeah.
It's probably not it. Here's the framework for JSON, which is that would be a big win. Here's the Java version. Here's a star UML Hello World. So yeah, it's worth an investigation because if we do get an IDE that gives us what we want right out of the box, we save a ton of time on car insurance there. So
Also, I was doing a search and came across something called Gen My Model, and that actually has built-in export directly to Lua. But I don't know if it's a. Let's see. Send you a link. It's called genmymodel.com. GEN mymodel.com. And I was
yeah,
looking for their API yesterday, and I couldn't find. It looks like it wasn't an option just yet. So they've been around for like 5 or so years. Um, it does what it does. It does it well, but it doesn't seem to lend itself to like a separate client or me crafting it into something I'm after. And I'm not averse to commercial products out there either, but 1,500 euros, forget that. So
hey man, if you eat too many euros, you get fat. You know.
it's true. But I do like tzatziki. So
It's almost like gyros, right? Gyros, gyros.
euros.
That was a good play on words. But
I like it.
Tzatziki's really good. So it reminds me of ranch. So did you do any diagram searching on GitHub?
Look at diagrams.
Did you?
Did I try and download it?
Did you look at anything on GitHub itself? There's 203 repos, React
Oh,
diagrams.
searching. Nah, I didn't actually search any of that. No.
Like here's React JS diagrams. Like there's 200 of them. It's possible that someone has made something. Look at this one.
In and out.
But it's a little more simplified, right? Like look at the amount of source that this guy's got. Let's check out his demos. Much simpler, less code, not an entire kitchen sink. Um,
See where
probably,
see where
yeah,
that image says out? If I
yeah.
could add more fields beneath it, boom, win.
So action types and return properties, items copied, items moved, points selected. So yeah, you get the node editor, move items. I mean, I think it's probably worthwhile to look through here. Like the most installs was right there.
I think a lot of those are forked off of that storm diagram one that we were looking at originally.
I think so.
Yeah, the I don't know, the thematic stylings of it are pretty similar.
Normally it would say it up here that it was forked, but this has been forked. It only has 20 issues, a flow-based diagramming library written in our friend React. Um, like, let's see if we can get this to build. It seems a little smaller. I'm not saying we're committing. That's how I sucker people in. I'm like, oh, we're not committing. We're just gonna commit to it a little bit and spend some time. So
And then
let's.
suddenly, no, no, no,
Well,
no,
just like I
no.
tried to, dude, I downloaded that thing and it was like 170 megs. I was like, oh god, the other one that you had.
Yeah, when I was looking at that, and then I had a tough time, yeah, getting that thing built.
It's like when it rains outside, your knee starts to hurt. When I do this shit, like my left eye starts twitching. I know that I'm like I shouldn't do this one. Like,
No,
npm
just
install. You can just do it like that, eh? Let's
I
hope
did.
we don't get a
Yeah,
virus.
let's give that a shot here, buddy.
Let's hope we don't get a virus, my
Are you
buddy.
feeling it? I'm feeling it. All right,
Yeah.
Janice.
Well, I just think that we haven't. Who's Janice? Is that our? Do we have someone watching us?
No,
That's a
that's
joke.
just a. It's an
It,
old commercial. I have to send you the link for.
I was this many years old when I realized that I'm older than you, son. So listen to old Chadio right here.
The
Um,
chatty.
test diagrams. Sound good to you? Okay. So now we'll go to CMD. Finally doing something. You should just tune in 30 minutes into our live feed and be like, finally doing something. So CD to
Guys,
CD.
we're doing something.
CD, what was it? Test diagram? There it is. And then I think if we ran this command, that it's going to go do all the dirty work for us. Do I got to hit enter? Oh, guys, it's doing all the work for us, guys.
Guys, I see it's unpacking and installing stuff, guys. Extracting.
Oh, God. This is what I can't stand. It's like when you do yarn, you get no warnings. They're like, it's a false sense of security. So we're going to go npm audit fix, and it's going to say, did a bunch of stuff and could not fix nothing.
Guys.
Oh, no package found. See, this is my rookiness. Is I think we need to. There's the package lock. Do we need to do like a? It's got it installed. Do we got to do an npm install? I'm not going to read the document.
I'm not going to read the documentation.
Okay, fine. They talked us into it. So do that. Then you get a bunch of false errors that are real. How does it work?
Guys.
So supposedly we got this package lock. Do I need to do like an npm init right there to get a package file? Npm init, and then it's going to ask me some questions. I think test diagram, sure. Version 1, sure. Description, ASDF, that's a good one. Entry point, yes. Test command, whatever. Get repository. Yeah, well, it'll automatically make one. We'll call it test diagram. Keywords, TD. All right. Author, orale.
Sandwich.
How do you spell orale? Sandwich? Okay.
ODALE?
License. Is this okay? Oh, I love that. Can you hear my keys coming out of my mouth? Okay, so let's try npm install again and see if it gets mad, warns us we can do an npm audit fix, show the world that I don't really know Node. Thank God we're streaming live to our almost 1,000-person Node group. Yeah.
Is this okay?
Yes. It's yes. You know what? Let me check that to make sure that. Okay.
I'm working on my alien backgrounds real quick, so.
I was hoping you were paying bills and looking for new friends because you're like Chad's lame. npm audit fix.
Oh, look at my shirt!
That's my shit! Okay. What did that say? Fixed 0 of 3 every time. I like it, bro. I like it. So I don't get it. It's how'd you get the software to just do your shirt only?
You select choose background color, and since it's white, and that's why my beard, since it's white, it's got the alien.
If anybody watches us, their path to getting hired for learning Node is like -1. Like they're never gonna learn.
Team India, I want you guys to know that I have the utmost respect for my alien background.
Yeah, bring it up in your interviews. Team India, I love those guys. If I stay up late coding around midnight, that's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon for them. Then I bug them all on chat, and they're like, "Hey, chat, I'm at work right now. Can you get me back later?" Test diagram, npm start. Are you ready? It's gonna work. Ugh.
Feel the power of
missing script start. Bro, this is why often I just do the download of the repo because I have no clue what I'm doing. And I just do like open and yeah. That's how I'm gonna make it to the top. I'm gonna make amazing stuff, and the whole time I'm gonna be like, this is my app named I don't know what I'm doing, and it's gonna like shake your hand and be like, that's what's up. Because I kind of don't know what I'm doing, man. Let's go like this.
I'm not normally a very kind of like concentrating on my looks sort of guy, but I really like how this background is making my goatee black. It hasn't been black in like 10 years, bro.
Self-esteem going way up. Well, welcome to 2023 when we have a digital version overlaying ourselves. We'll be like, I got blue eyes, baby. I got a full head of hair. Digital, though.
I got a
Uh,
green beard. Bruh. Trucha, Holmes.
Trucha, trucha. Spell that. Okay, so now I've just switched over to downloading their project. It has all the files I need. I didn't want to add a scripts element in the package JSON. I'm lazy. So we're going to run an npm install again. I probably prefer to use yarn. So let's see if I can do it. No reading the document. Just go yarn. And it's going to run the install. And then I like to do this. I like to do like stretch my eyes back while I wait. And face massage. So count the pound signs.
So we're definitely not going to complain how much of a pain in the butt this diagram action is. Is it so impossible? I've seen it out there, and I'm like, I can't be the
No.
first and only person.
No, this is the way that, at least for me, not everybody has their own style, but like in corporate environments, as you know, they usually have people like do research, spike, figure out what's out there, buy versus build, and then choose because that could make a big difference on time. So, yeah, this is normal. Getting packages down like this, getting apps down and run the installers. This is what you do.
Noise.
Especially on the Electron side, which I was excited to hear. Like we can end up making the only reason I would say consider using an Electron is because we can target one browser. You can protect things a little bit more if there's anything that you want to hold proprietary, maybe not. You can leverage the GPU, which you can't do that up on your browser. So like if you're dealing with tons of data, like I don't know. It's not for you, but let's say I was making a movie and I'm like, I want to use this guy's website, but I don't want him having all my like Star Wars decides to use your stuff, right? They're like, I don't want him having all my data. They can work on it on the local. That's why I like Electron. You
I'm
can.
down. I'm down for the tool that's going to provide me the solution that I need for my vision. I don't care what I write it in or what it is, but yeah, if I can have an end user develop and start dragging, dropping documents, nodes, adding their own data sets and exporting it, serializing it JSON, that's perfect.
You know what would be killer is to be able to make the application. Let's say that I look at my like I'm just going to draw this. Like, look, imagine that this is your desktop and you have a desktop app running. It's a window,
Mhm.
Chrome, Mac, or PC, and it's basically a website running inside of it, but it has the control to talk to the operating system. Let's say that I have a file that I've worked on, but I know the schema. And you're like, we produce the schema. We're like, go take your schema and work on our JSON. And as long as you drag and drop that file or copy and paste it into the housing, you're going to get a character out, right? A character is going to spring out of it. Is that correct? Or an
Yep.
animal, an animal.
Yep.
So
Yep.
what's cool is, uh-oh, my lighting's going weird.
Whoa, what's up with your lighting,
I
homie?
don't know, dude. Okay.
Dude, oh, Alexa was taking over.
Yeah, it's doing it again, man. Anyways, my point is like having the power of the desktop, we dump in the data, something does 3D processing, and you can go windowless, and next thing your character could just be like, you'd be like, let me see this thing walk across the screen. It'll jump out of the modal and walk across the screen, and you could even interact with it, and it would be somewhat alive and usable on desktop also. And
I
then you're
like
like,
it.
I want to publish it to web. Oh, what? That's what's up. My man.
Publishing.
Now this shit's getting real. What's up with my background? Matt.
Matt, stand by while he calibrates input-output audio devices.
Cool. You guys can mute me then, and I'll actually get something done.
Matt.
Waiting for him to audio it up.
Oh, that alien's sick.
He doesn't have any earbuds on yet.
Leave him alone, man.
Okay. Oh, he dropped.
Oh, I scared Matt. Sorry, Matt. It's cool, bro.
He knew this wasn't going to be good for his CV.
He's like, no.
You know, the warning was that like something happened to my camera. It started to go light and dark. It's like this weird warning. All right. Well, I love the fact that Matt made his cameo with the.
Thanks, Matt.
And it's with space and all that shit ties right in.
Major props to Matt. He was recalibrating shield mutations.
I'll just go ahead and note that in the video. Like, be sure to jump in at 10 minutes, 17 seconds to see Matt Moser do his
Matt
cameo.
appears and then he disappears.
Well, that's how we're going to get Leon Lush and Chase Rayner eventually to come on in. They'll be like, dude, you wrote me so many messages. I finally came in. Bro, look at my screen. Guys.
All right, so you got your screen.
So Yarn did the install, did the node modules directory. You can see over here on the right, we've got ESLint, we've got SRC, we've got a test directory. I mean, we've really got a setup application here, but it's not as big as that guy's full kitchen sink that he had.
Sure.
Which I'm not counting it out, but then we go npm. We're gonna stick with Yarn and start and see if this thing just kicks off. And it looks like we're gonna win here. It's starting a Babel node server.js file, which I like that because that means that we've already got the middle tier sort of started, where we can run there's probably an API to this thing. So that just saved me tons of time of lopping around. Let's go over to the browser.
Let's see it.
Oh, here comes Matt. Here comes Mattster.
All right, everyone, be cool. It's Matt. Just play it cool.
Be serious.
Hey, what's up?
Be professional.
So anyways, if you keep your scope local and make sure to manage your memory, the performance is going to go way up.
I heard something.
All right, well, it's something.
Well, welcome to the show, Matt. It's the Chad, Matt, and Mario show.
Yo.
Doing it.
I'm just a color commentator. That's all.
Perfect.
Well, I just hope the energy of this turns professional because Mario has just been acting so wild and crazy.
I have been off the hook, Matt. I've been out of control, bro.
Well, I have to admit, Matt and I had a plan to go live and talk about reducers and a bunch of other stuff, and then Mario lied to me and said he was drinking, and we're like, let's go live then. And then here he is.
Chad got all excited, and then I turned out to be sober, so sorry.
Yeah.
That's all right. That's all right. What are you guys working on?
Mario, give him the 1-2, man.
Well, we were working on this diagramming, like flow diagram library in React, and it turned out the one we originally were looking at was a little bloated. It was kind of fighting us. It had a lot of open bugs, so Chad went down and reduced it to a different library that could hopefully allow us to put some basic, simple nodes up on the screen, drag, put some flow control between them, and that's where we're at. So we did the install, we ran it, it failed, and
yeah, the bigger picture is that you missed on the beginning of the show is that he's got a dream for 12 years now of building a character maker, like alien animals.
Oh, you should bring up the design doc, dude.
No, man.
No.
Shit. All right. I don't know. You want to see all that, Matt?
Yeah. Matt loves that.
So he's got a website, Matt, called artificialgalaxies.com.
Don't go there.
And we've been building something that I would say is not really built. That's like a little UI to make some JSON structures, and it does some generation of like basically making an animal. I can start that up here in a minute. It needs a lot of work. He found a diagrammer from React diagram, and it was just a little too big for what we were looking at. And here you are. So hold the applause. Yeah. So what do you want to do? Now that Matt's here, like, what do we do?
I don't know. Should we act professional or?
Well, Matt, there was some stuff you wanted to talk about too. And Mario, you're learning JavaScript. I mean,
yeah.
How are you feeling about Gears, Matt? Do you have some stuff on your mind?
No, not really. I'll just tell you, this is live, right? This is live?
Yeah, like on 7 channels. Even my mom's watching this.
Upgrading React Native is not fun, and I just dislike it, mainly because of iOS. So if anybody important is actually watching this, I wish that iOS would just go away forever.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I've been reading some of the news. Go ahead, Mario. You disappeared, but yeah, you're just a voice in the crowd.
No, I had to adjust my curtain, so I didn't want everyone to see my grill and my goatee up in the camera while I reached for the...
You're wearing your boxers? All right. Looking good. So
your shirt is your green screen?
Yeah. It's pretty rad. I got that alien.
Did you see Did you see the post that Victoria put out today about something about some virus on that affected React Native and iOS? Not a
Oh
virus,
yeah.
but it was something.
With
I
Xcode?
didn't look into it. Yeah.
She had put a post up. I don't know. I'm gonna pull it up. Something about Apple bans own Xcode 11.2 days after its release.
No.
I thought it was a meme. Which should
No,
be.
yeah, and I did. I looked at that too, and I said they should just ban all of Xcode. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Why, you don't like the compilation model where it's like you go from.
You know, I don't know. It's just that they don't have a lot of backwards compatibility. So, like, if your project was built earlier and it was made for, like, let's say Xcode 10.2, and then you try to use it for 11.2 or 11.1 or whatever their latest stable is, it just doesn't work real well. Like, there's so many different configuration changes that you have to make in order to get it to work, and it's a pain.
So that's what you've been
Dang.
fighting with? Yeah, I mean, traditionally mobile development is like it has a lot of extra steps, right?
Yeah, but the thing is like I can get Android up and running like no problem. Like going back and forth between versions of Android Studio, like it doesn't affect it at all. So
I'm just spamming people while we're talking. Yeah, with no particular preparation, I'm sure we're all going to learn stuff together. But we are live. So if maybe you guys want to, like, I'm okay to like we can just, dude. Literally, I was looking at closures again the other day. I don't care what we talk about or look at because I'll learn something. But I pulled down this little diagram guy here, and I'm getting this error, which maybe I should just move on. And it's like Windows 64 with unsupported runtime, like trying to run this. So just that's a bummer for my SAS. I know I could Google it, but we want to see some working stuff. So let me show Matt so he can catch up to speed. This is artificialgalaxies.com. It's like a little group. We have a little Facebook group too. Please like, subscribe, and share with your fam. And then we've also got this thing. I'm going to kill this server and not mess with things that are broken right now that we didn't make. And I'm going to show you what we got. And here's something you can help us out if you're ready. Is with forms. How are you with React forms, Matt?
pretty decent.
Okay, good. Because it's starting to show that I don't really know React at all. So like I was trying to do it, so I could use your help. Will you help us? Let me pull up the repo.
I'll do the best I can.
Yeah,
Matt, you're gonna have to do better, man. We expect way better. Chad said so.
Yeah,
no, I'm kidding.
No using a computer either. You have to use a paper bag and a pencil.
No Google.
Yeah. We're gonna call this Test Mario because we're into that kind of stuff. I can invite you to the repo too if you end up wanting to code local. Not to drag you into it, but like here's the gist: is that I don't know how to talk and type. Open Visual Studio Code. First, I did some spaghetti code with him, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and jQuery just to teach him some basic web and to get a model going. And I can show you what that looks like here in a minute. Then we migrated to Next.js React on the other video. And now we're at a point now where we're like in the middle of the migration of basically three UI controls, I guess you'd call them. A button, a list box, and a text area. We already have the JavaScript methods and we need to fetch some data. He's got a function. All of it can be cleaned up a little bit. But this is the legacy stuff, and then this is the latest component browser. And with no further ado, the component set, we're mostly dealing with pages. We have index.js, which basically just loads in the component browser. And then inside a browser, I made a whole hell of a lot of a mess just modeling out the button, the select, and the text area.
Okay.
And then this change event, I started screwing around and looking at examples on dealing with props and state, and this is the areas that I'm learning.
Okay.
But we're not married to any of this. Let me show you the functional Junk.
Why don't you try to
Yeah.
do? Why don't
Yeah.
you click that live share and see if you can send me the link?
Oh, yes, sir. you know,
Chad.
you know my hot buttons. I'm like, no. I'd rather give you control of my screen. No. Yes, I will. How do I do that, sir? Kind sir.
On the
Oh
bottom,
shit.
what I saw in VS Code, it had a button that said live share.
On the bottom here.
Oh yeah, the live share option.
Okay.
Chad broke stuff with that. No, I'm kidding.
We had some issues, but nothing major. So invite
So just
participants.
Start a you'll just have to give me the code, and now it's going to be on live. But by the time somebody watches this, they're not going to be able to get to it anyway. So.
Ooh.
Oh, but I'd almost rather get you into the GitHub also. That way you have your own environment to hack on it too. I'll do this for sure, but then it ties up my PC as well. So can I let me do before I do the share, because I am a stubborn programmers are tough to get them to do stuff, right? Let me at least run. Don't worry, I'll give it to him, Mario. I know you're shaking your head. Mario's the boss, but let me just run the app for you so you can see what's up. We do Yarn Dev because it's a Next.js app, and let me just run the legacy that's in the public directory so you can see functionally what we want to pull off, and then I'll do whatever you guys say. I promise. Mario, can you switch your? I need some new action from you.
You're just gonna get nothing, bro.
Hold on, I gotta switch this up because you take up my whole screen here with your live your.
Oh, it goes out to dual screen on you. Oh, because are you set to dual screen?
I mirrored, so.
Okay, so here is the magic. Now this is running the test.html file with jQuery and its legacy. It's a one-page junk app in the public folder, and you click load. And I guess it's broken. No. Sorry. That's the React stuff. That's the React.
Yeah.
Here in test.html is the legacy. You click load, and it does a randomization. Every time I do that, it's going to be a different set of animals 0 through 1 that have different properties. When you click that, it just does that.
Okay.
I didn't write it. Mario just learned JavaScript. Don't tell my mom that I wrote that. Whatever's behind it. Anyways. So there's a working model there, and it looks like this file here, test.html, and it has basically the same functions. Like there's the function, he's got an async reader, he's got an animal. This thing basically scrambles and makes a fake data. He's got a few other JavaScript files that he uses when he loads in that causes it to happen. Basically, I mocked it, so I'll do the share as you asked, but I'm also going to get you over on the GitHub too. So let me share.
Well, I mean, if I do the GitHub, then it's like if I want to show you something, it's not exactly easy, right?
No, actually, now with Zoom, we are able to share multiple desktops. That's like, there's a way to share 2 screens now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a kind of a setup thing. But since you're in here, let me just get you on the GitHub anyways, yeah? It's a public, I think, is it public or private, Mario?
Oh, I think it's public, yeah. I don't have anything exciting to hide.
That's what she said. Oh, I swore I'd never say that on the... And it was the wrong timing, too.
Well done.
Rather be surfing, and then... Is it under that repo? What was the rest of it? Test Mario?
Yeah.
Mario, I made a misclick, dude. You're supposed to get mad.
Bruh.
There we go. And then test Mario. I would love nothing more than to be the guy who plays sound effects in the background, so I'm trying to get you over here on this. So this is the path to the repo, Matt. Where do you want it? On Discord?
That's fine.
Okay, so that's that. And I sent you that. And so I also have to invite you to that. Is there anything private about inviting your handle on this live that you don't want happening? Like, can I?
On GitHub, no.
It's okay to invite your live user, right? Like, you don't care? You're not a private user? I don't know. I'm just being careful. So, collaborators. Oh, God. And so what's your username on
Zhydyan, Z-H-Y-D-I-A-N. Z-H-Y-D-I-A-N.
There he is.
Yep.
Okay, so I think you know how to accept an invite, right? Copy the invite link. I'll just do that for you.
I got it.
See, you're skilled, man. Shit's about to get better. Mario's gonna be like not answering my calls soon.
Oh man, now I'm just gonna be like, hey Matt, guys.
Guys, he doesn't know the guys joke, so just let's keep
Forget
it.
Chad. Bail. That guy's a jerk.
Hey, but don't forget about our AI bots. Hey Google, how you doing?
I'm feeling pretty studious. Since the holidays are here, I've been learning some fun facts about Kwanzaa. According to Wikipedia, it was created in...
So Google's learning to just kind of say less is more. All right, so you're in there now.
Now you just have to learn how to, open a folder. That's it.
Who, me?
Me.
Oh, yeah. I was like, because I can open a folder. I got shortcuts. But the truth is if you were to share and I could see your screen here and share it out over OBS, you would have to disconnect and reconnect. You have to change 2 settings in your Zoom account. And these are the kind of tips that our users just won't get anywhere else on YouTube because it's so scripted. This SHIT is live. And I'm going to go ahead and, but we can see what happens if I make you presenter. I'll see what happens. Mario, can you do something cool like just glow like a green alien? Turn that off, man. I can't
I'm doing
look
a
at
great
you.
job, man.
I can't look at you anymore. I can't look at you. My ultimate dream would be if we were all sharing 3 screens at once and the code's just moving around. That's going to be amazing. So are you getting set up over there? Because I'll just talk about OBS for a second.
No,
Matt,
I just cloned the repo, so.
Yeah, Matt showed me this thing called Scenes, Mario, and inside of here we could have like Mario and Chad's screen is small in the lower right, and then and Matt's screen's nice and big, and then we switch to scene 2, and it's like then it's Mario's desktop, and like we're all on GitHub, and we're all coding pieces. It's pretty dope. I like that, Mario. Looks good.
So I've never used Next.js.
Yeah, just do
What's
yarn.
the difference between that and like a regular React?
I think on your end, well, it's a framework. Oh, we're getting some feedback. Next.js is a framework addition to React, and I've had more luck using Yarn with it. I believe all you have to do is run Yarn as a command to run the build. It'll do the node modules directory, and then you'll do yarn dev that's in the scripts element in the package JSON, and then it should all just start up. It's going to use Babel and run a localhost 3000 for you.
Okay. Let's see.
I'm just gonna pull up my resume and say like I'm just gonna keep updating it. Like I learned one new thing. There it goes, one new thing. Mario, how you doing? How's your wife, Mario?
She's good, man.
Is she
rocking it right before tax season?
Is she live gaming right now?
No, she's on her way home.
I almost want to. I'm hoping that when he gets down from the commit, I haven't yet committed because I just made a mockery of trying to get those forms to work.
You have a sort of
avoidance. So I got a welcome to Artificial Galaxies. Click me. Hello.
Yeah. So you're the man. Why don't you share your screen?
All right. Share.
This is intense. Okay, I see your screen, dude. You may not.
Noise.
Do you see it, Mario?
I see it.
Dude, it's over there. And then let me double check OBS, make sure that. But what do I got over here?
Click me brings up an alert box. Pretty excited about that.
Oh, it's crazy. Move the camera. Okay. Move the cameras over there. That's nice. So we still get the 3 of us, and we still get his deal. Let's see what Zoom is doing.
Oh snap! I got the 3 of you guys on the side of my, 2 of you and 1 of me on the side of my screen.
So Zoom sort of has it backwards. I should probably go to another scene and set up a layout, but I'll just manually move his screen larger. Oh God, I'm scaling it all weird.
So what is it that you're trying to do here? Like, what's the goal? Where's the form?
Well, since you're running a web server, you can see a working model what we're trying to do by going to, after the slash path, localhost :3000 / test.html, and that's the legacy JavaScript HTML stuff. So you can kind of see that. But basically, we're converting the old school HTML, CSS, JavaScripty way to use React forms. Like we need to add to the select box. We need to add options and do it the right way, not the.
What do you got against jQuery, dude? Come on, Chad.
Well, nothing really, but
All right, so let's see. That's probably in here. This one.
I like this. It's so cool that Matt's showing both his screens as one. It's like
that's been a big milestone for Chad. Matt was getting 2 screens at once displayed. So.
Yeah, he likes 2 things at once.
Yeah, he was really pushing that on Saturday.
That's what she said.
What?
All right, so. Let's see, where's your...
Well, 4 viewers are so on the edge right now. I know Noé's in the back room, like, just eating potato chips and just loving this. He's like, don't you too loud, Noé. We'll hear it on the camera. So now we're all watching Matt. No pressure, Matt. I want to mute Mario so he stops bothering you.
So you're trying to convert this to React?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And Next.js has its own sort of way. It doesn't have to be Next.js. It could be raw React. We could install, like Mario said, he didn't want to use Material Design or Bootstrap React. I don't care if we do. Mario's on mute anyways, so.
Well, I'm not sure how, like,
React
the regular HTML page to React.
Well, it's already started if you go into Pages. We've already migrated. And that's just for working model. And the code I did, can you go, yeah, if you open the Pages folder, that's something that you get out of the scaffolding there. And then there's browser right there. So if you open up browser, you'll see like how far I've gotten. You don't want to slash Pages. It's just going to go to root. Pages are basically getting loaded into index.js, which is like the main loader. So let's open browser.js.
So
yeah, look at that file. And you can see it's very basic. And I guess we left off with just a button and it clicks and does console log.
Oh, so this right here is this page?
Yes. And then over on my stuff, I do have some examples I found of some forms that use props and states and catch a form submission and do a bunch of stuff, but it was a little bit out of my league. I know I could solve it, but like, I don't know. I was struggling, so I closed out the video last time. And I was like, so yeah, this is index.js, which is a loader, and we've imported browser as a component.
Right, I got it.
So it's very simple. And then I was able to like just bring raw HTML over. There's a button right there. I do have a file I can commit, like a test, like a transfer.html file. And it has some.
Well, I guess what I'm trying to figure out is which page which form do you want? Like if you just want to do forms.
I don't think a form is necessary. I think it's like you click the button, just like the demo we were looking at in the browser over there. You click the button, it's going to call a method. I have something stubbed out. I'm sorry because I kind of reverted the code. If you go to GitHub, dude, the source will be there with comments. So it should be there. Otherwise, I'm a terrible developer and I didn't commit it. And I'll look on my side too. Let me.
I don't have the link.
It's rather be surfing. I gotta change it to something easier. It's on Discord. Yeah, test Mario. And then let's see what's under the commits and see if I left it in there. Otherwise, I've got something somewhat started. Yeah, where it does have the functions in here. Here, I'm going to commit a file called browser.txt, and in it will be like the stuff I had that's kind of my latest that I haven't committed, okay?
Well,
and then that'll...
Just tell me what you want to do. Like, you want to make what do you want the button to do?
It's going to call this function called function create animals. And just let me do this GitHub push and grab that txt file. It's already all stubbed out. And you'll know exactly what I'm talking about in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Did I say that right, Mario?
I believe it was 2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
Two shakes.
Demonetization,
I
Chad.
did say 2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
Oh, I thought you said shits. Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Is that what it sounded like?
Yeah.
We're gonna go back and do forensic checking on that. Push.
I heard shakes.
Damn.
Yeah.
I guess I'm hearing what I want to hear.
Lamb shits.
Lamb shakes.
Yeah, I'm gonna discard my stuff, and there's browser txt, and then I got something called public 2. Was I drunk? I don't even drink anymore. Browsers text push, example, whatever. Pushing that. Give me 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, guys. Looks like I gotta do a get.
Is that your commit message?
Yeah, I should have put it in there. Damn it, Jim. Okay, it's on its way. This is the most organic. I want everybody out there in La La Land to know that we pre-produced this whole thing. We got together and said, you come in at 10 minutes and 14, save the day. Yeah. So you should have browser txt now. There you do. You got it. And then like that usage of const animal is it that best way to do, like kind of like a global in the tray? Like you're gonna need that, but
All right, so let's see. We got this is what you want, right? And so now you're trying to convert this.
Well, yeah, I just console logged, and if you look back at the other example page, I mocked up passing around a click event that then calls load animal data, but load animal data actually picks up a file when I mocked an array. So yeah, console log animal data. Most of it's commented out because we just want to. Mostly, what I'm having issues with is how would we properly bring in the UI select and text area controls. I have them in this example here, but you can see I started putting the class browser stuff in there that I was looking at last night with props and state, and I just don't know if we need all that. We don't. But
well, yeah, you do. You do need state.
Okay.
But you don't. So you went from using like a class to a functional component. So then you'll have to use like.
I think I started with functional and went to class. I just did not know what I was doing. Like that. This is the world now knowing that I am the worst React guy in the world. So I was like, I want to use hooks, but it was first just a function.
All right, well, let's do something like this. Let's do.
Yes, sir. We'll edit out the last 1 minute where I broke down. So I'm the worst. I'm going to take React off my resume. I don't even have it on my resume, but it will be there one day soon.
Okay. Yeah.
Let me mute myself. I got some dogs getting hungry or something.
No ID needed.
Man, I'm feeling the knowledge get dropped on us now. This is good.
Well, so what you did is you had like a explicit return, right? And so it didn't allow you to do anything like have any sort of state. And since browser's like your main component here, and then we can do. See if I can remember how to do this. All right. And so the use state that I just did like a default state. Mm-hmm. So that's where you'll put the animals, like wherever you get it from. And then let's see, we have animals dot. Was it option?
Let's see. It's line 77 in test.html, like create animals. Those instantiate 100 animal like objects based on the animal JS class.
Right. So this is like kind of like scaffolding out whatever. And so you'll have a function that you'll start out, and then it will load it into the array, and then that will set up your options here. So this is let's see here. Does it refresh? Does Next.js refresh automatic? There we go.
I'm gonna go with yeah.
And so that's how we set up the array in the inside here, right? Because we map through it.
Okay.
So if you use set animals, so like let's say we did something like let's do our button. Actually, we're going to put this in here. I guess I could have just done a new one, but feeling the, what is it called? Like nervousness, but.
Yeah. Oh, good. Chad's entertaining everybody with the Chad dog show.
Yeah, don't worry about anything. You just got to embarrass yourself like I did yesterday for 6 hours live, and you'll be over it.
No. But dude, you painted, man, so you accomplished something.
Is that what happened?
I tuned in. I reviewed it. It was pretty awesome. Chad was rocking.
Yeah. No, that's not what I wanted. Here. What? It's not input box. What's the? It's not a prompt, right?
No, it was a select, I think, that it was populating it with. And again, I barely know how to spell JavaScript, so.
So, like for example, right? We have like, here's my 2 options or 3 options.
Mm-hmm.
If I click here,
No,
I can just type in a new one.
No, no, don't do that. He's randomizing the data from some include files, so you're gonna end up having to do a fetch when you call the animals array stuff. It's getting brought in from he's calling it a class file, and you can look at those. But just maybe in another tab, go to local.
Or look up on line 9. You can see where I instantiated.
Yeah, and then functionally just go to a new tab and go to localhost. Right.
Yeah.
But
this isn't available in here, right?
Yeah, run the app again. Yeah, I commented out, but go to a new tab and run localhost 3000/test.html, and you'll see functionally that data gets populated in as options. So
Slash what?
Test.html. And then I'll go back to muting. But yeah, you can look at the model now. Sorry guys. I'm playing my dogs.
Right. Oh, so this is what you're talking about. It gets randomized.
Yeah. The class itself returns a randomization of a bunch of JSON tables to define the actual animal object.
Okay, so that is.
Good question. Here. Under classes. Yeah, there we go. I was looking for that earlier. I was like,
So I guess I could still use it, right?
Yeah.
Is it exported then?
I don't know what you mean.
Okay, so I'll just put it in here.
I like it.
No, it's not exported. It's done the old school way where there's a file just read in from like an import, like the old school way. Oh, one of my dogs just come here, boy.
So that's what actually creates it, right? Is that animal? That's not where it's instantiated.
Right, the animal new part is what.
This is it, right?
Yeah, exactly. That spews out like 100 just as an arbitrary number, instances of them. Perfect. Yeah.
So you ever get it to like when you type something so much it just doesn't look right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that's how animal is. So actually I can use this here. And then oh,
I don't know if you've looked at that what we had in Legacy there for Animals JS. It's I guess you did, huh? Got it right there. It's doing a lot. I guess it's doing a little bit of something there.
yeah, it's randomizing all the stats and everything, right?
Right.
Yeah. Are you familiar with GURPS, Matt?
No.
Damn. Generic Universal Role-Playing System? Dang.
No.
Well, anyways, completely bit off of that. So I always put the heads up out in any of the live streams. This isn't me. This is like GURPS, Stars Without Numbers, role-playing type nerd game. Look at that. All right.
So that's just setting the name.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Okay.
Now, ideally, as I progress in this, I've got a MongoDB set up on the back end. So once I get like Node or something set up, I'll just be generating this stuff on the fly through Mongo queries. But for now, I just like hard-coded JSON data, bringing them in, parsing them, randomly selecting a couple of each table, and then, assigning
Well, I
them.
mean, basically, once this is set up, right, all you're doing is changing the animal.js and then have that call whatever MongoDB, right?
Yeah.
So that way, when you create a new animal, it does its thing and it returns back a promise or something which has all your data.
Yeah.
So create animals. I mean, I don't mind doing this because I'm trying to get better at using function components. So
Huh. No, this is cool. I'm learning a lot as you're creeping along here. This is great. I appreciate it.
And then, so this is where use effect comes in.
Yeah.
No. What is I gotta remember how to use effect.
So now my mic's back hot on the air, so it would have just been you guys. But I got two mics, the one around my neck and the one in OBS. So cool. Yeah, this is looking good. It's been a nice evolution too, because Mario just literally has just gotten into web, and so it's nice to see this reactized.
Yeah, my running joke with Chad and anyone else who listens is I'm one of the 6 people on the planet that never learned any web dev back in the 90s on forward. So here I am 20, 30 years later. I'm like, oh yeah, I should get to learn some of that.
Just make sure there's make sure.
Yeah, I hated web dev stuff because of JavaScript.
It's had that effect on me, so I keep trying to come back because it can't be that bad. People can do it. I see the results of their labor out there, but I'm having some challenges getting used to the infrastructure and mostly the setup of the environments just for dev, which are challenging for me. Instead of like a plug and play option, you got to download, install, configure your dev environment, run your dev environment. And so these are some of the hurdles that I'm hitting, cutting my teeth on them.
Right. I get it.
Hey Google, make a fart sound.
No, that's Alexa, homie. Oh, homie.
I don't know why. I just want to add to the shock value so we get one more like. In fact, I'm going to check the statistics of how we're doing. Nothing like live TV and you're like, you got great ratings. And then it's like, so many times I've been like, and we got 5 users and they all drop to 0. And I'm like, all right. Let's see what we got. Let me go promote us over on the third. I'm ready to drop our link over on iTunes Store. Here we go.
Hey, just a quick interrupt here from San Diego, California. It's now raining, which is a big deal because we never get any rain. So now you know, man.
Man, what is OBS showing us? This is killer. I got a whole screen I can work on.
This is killer. I am Chad, and I've got awesome sauce.
Oh, that's right.
This is great. I just want Ivan to come in and like be like, you guys should be using. What is he? He said something the other day. He caught everybody off guard. Something about the functions. He's like, you should be using a pure function. We're like, okay.
So this is in your animals.js here. Let's see.
Come on, boy, get out of there.
Animal data template. Where does that come from?
Oh, it's passed to the function there as animal data, and then it's just dot notation for the additional info. That's called from, I think, index or test.html it's called from. That's where it reads the JSON data that it's going to use for the tables that are being randomized.
Got it. Cool. So that's this one, right? This loads the data?
Yeah. And then it passes it on down to create animals at the end of that function. Boom.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Cool.
You want to go to the bathroom again, dude?
I know.
What?
Dude, all right, so here's a funny story I'll tell while he's coding. Is one time I was on a team doing a big install at Sabic, which is a General Electric company, and the company I was working with, they were installing Google Apps. So Google is a big-time partner with the company I was with, and so Google's in the room, and Google's on the phone, and it's an enterprise install of about 80,000 accounts. And so the CTO is in the room for the company, and then all of us on our team are in there. We all flew in the night before, and we're all talking about how we're going to do this major install and not affect all the users. And one of the Google guys, he's on the call, and he's talking, he's like, but he's a little arrogant. He's known for being arrogant. All of a sudden, the guy forgets that he did to press mute. He must have stuck his phone in his pocket. Then we just start hearing loud over like a 70-person call. Plus, we're in the room, and it's like the guy starts brushing his teeth. And then you hear the toilet flush. Then you hear like him walking outside, get in the car, rap music and drive all the way to the Google office for like 10 minutes. And like,
Oh,
dude, all the executives on the calls for Sabic and all of our team were just like talking over him. It was the best that I'd ever seen,
And
dude.
now you know you've hit the big time when you're that much of a badass.
Yeah,
You just
he
do your
didn't even.
daily ablutions.
He didn't even care. He didn't even care. I would have been mortified, but yeah.
Bro, you just gotta own that. Yeah, you do something dumb. You just
well,
gotta
it's
speak
like
up.
it's not nearly as bad as that, but last week I emailed everybody to tell everybody I was gonna be a couple minutes late, but I did it from the wrong email account, and it was from like my spam account, so it wasn't my real name or anything.
Oh no.
And so I sent it out to like the whole staff.
Nice. How
Dear
embarrassing.
everybody, I'm gonna be a little bit late from spam account. Who the hell is this?
Right. Exactly.
So you guys aren't going to hear this, but the guys on the OBS stream over in the live, they will. I'm going to play the applause for Matt to give him some kudos for knocking this out. Let's see here. Here it comes.
So I'm trying to see here. Let's see how that works.
Yeah, buddy. They're cheering us on. The audience is going live.
Man, I'm kind of bummed I can't hear that because I'm missing out on a lot of awesome sound effects, dude.
It's about 30 people cheering us. Go, go, go. Nothing beats that boo, though, man. That's stealth. That stuff is
Chad's
tight.
pretty ruthless with that. As I'm typing incorrectly, not according to Chad style, then he starts playing that boo noise, and I'm like, what?
Bring some of your code back and see what Matt thinks of it with the title
No,
case.
don't do that, dude. Don't embarrass me. I've been doing JavaScript all of like 6 days, man. Come on. Chad's all, no one uses jQuery anymore, fool. What up?
No, I'm not. I'm going to write an article saying it's not dead. No, it's still installed in 77% of the web. It's still being used.
Dude, he got on my camel casing. I'm like, bruh.
I said no. Well, your functions were not to. You were making them title case, and that's just, or all caps even, and that's like indicative of maybe a class.
I'm coming from a C#, Objective C, Lua background, not strictly typed, and you're worried about appearances. Bruh, it's about functionality, not what everyone thinks.
Oh, I was worried that the camera was on my face while you were talking because I was rolling my eyes.
Don't you know I'm loco,
man, I could have done something else in my life, like stayed in construction as a kid. I wonder where I'd be today.
I'm not really good at like async functions, so.
I just used that because it was the only way I knew how to load JSON data.
Well, wouldn't we want to use fetch in this case?
Yeah, I don't know if we have to actually use a weight on it because it's just a file.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. If you know the more like bitchin' way to synchronously load a JSON file and then boom, I'm down to learn.
I mean, fetch would probably be one common way, and then sync loader, fs command maybe via node, since there will be a web server involved at some point. I think there already is because of the SSR with Next.js. Hey. I hope my dogs just don't eat this whole plant.
Eat them.
What was I going to do? I did the applause sound. So that's what's next.
Public
crickets.
Tables.
You want to do crickets? Let's do crickets.
I'll be back.
Where are you going, May?
I got to fill a pot with some water.
Yep. We're live. Live coding. Live code conversations. Patent pending. Live dogs. Coding. Boys, don't you guys ever rest? There's something I was going to do. Oh, God. Let's get that out of there. Get down, boy. Get down, boy. Get down, boy. So for the newbies out there, we'll just fill in some data. Hey, this is what's weird is both Google and Alexa they're copying each other. Hey, Google, what is React.js?
According to Wikipedia, React is a JavaScript library for building user interfaces. It is maintained by Facebook and a community of individual developers and companies. React can be used as a base in the development of single-page or mobile applications, as it is optimal for fetching rapidly changing data that needs to be recorded.
So that's the part that I didn't necessarily agree with, was that it's optimal for fetching data. That's not, I mean, Abramov just said the other day that's why he's working on the suspense stuff, because React is not for fetching data. But whatever. Let's not repeat everybody's stuff. But then Alexa says the exact same thing as Google. So we'll spare you. Hey Google, who is Dan Abramov?
Sorry, I don't know how to help with that yet, but I'm learning more every day.
I want to do.
I have so many Alexa devices.
Yeah.
But it's not smart.
No.
Like, Alexa's not nearly as smart as Google.
True. I have them both sitting side by side here. There is a conversation. Have you conversated with Alexa? There's a conversation app. Have you done that one? It's pretty. It's not pretty good, but it's better than it was last year. Hey computer. Hey computer. Hey computer. Let's have a conversation. Oh, my speaker's dead. Forgot. Durr. Get down, boy. Boy, please. Come on. We're live. We're doing stuff, boy. We're doing stuff, boy. Need some power. Additional power. Boy, get down out of my chair. This is a bit roundabout when I should play some background music, but all the music I have keeps getting copyright claimed, even though I got it off an open source website. So you just have to everybody wants money for everything. So we'll be putting our ads up here pretty soon.
I wonder why it's not getting my data.
It might need the file. Is there a data file? What do you mean? Oh, getting the file?
Yeah, I moved it in here.
Into public? Oh.
Oh, no, table.
Yeah, you might need to host it in public if you're going to use it statically. But I'm not paying attention close enough to... Yeah. Oh, you did have it in there. Duh. Then it should just be under, yeah, /tables/file. I'll take a look here in a sec.
So Matt, after you're done concentrating, we'll need to see the link to the green screen that you got ordered.
Come on, get out of my seat. Get out. Hey, computer. Let's have a conversation.
Welcome to the Alexa Prize, a university competition to advance AI. I'll get you one of the social bots now. When you're done, say stop. Hi, this is an Alexa Prize social bot. I don't think we have been properly introduced. What's your name?
Mario Roberti.
Why you gotta be like
Hey
that?
Mario, I'm happy to meet you. Have we chatted already? I'm not sure.
Yes.
No, you're lying.
I'm happy that you came back. How are you today?
Well, I'm a little bit hungry. Thanks for asking.
That's fantastic. Mario, what would you like to chat about? Let's say games, celebrity or music, or anything else?
I'd like to tell you that my favorite person in the world is Chad Collins. Update your database.
No.
A friend told me this interesting idea. If chess were released today, every 5 months would bring an update with a new set of pieces and new moves. That's an interesting idea, don't you think?
Yeah, it really stretches my imagination. Do you like Galaxies?
Great.
Hey, do you like...
Mario, I would like to ask you, are you a big movie fan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has
Good for
earbuds
you.
and totally
I'm
intersect.
wondering, how do you choose a movie to watch?
Nudity, explosions, and science fiction.
Science fiction, exploding spaceships,
Nudity. Nudity, Chad. Don't
and
edit me.
nudity.
Science fiction exploding spaceships? Nope. I have no idea what this group of phonemes is about. Mario, I would like to ask you, do you drink tap water?
Yes, all the time.
I only drink tap water.
Well, I have bottled water downstairs, but sometimes I'm too lazy.
You only drink tap water. That's nice to hear. Tap water is so much cheaper than bottled water, and also much more eco-friendly. Way to go! But now, Mario, I would like to ask you. Let's target our memories. Do you remember everything like a computer, or do you forget a lot?
Dude, I remember everything.
I remember everything since I was 2 years old going forward.
Do you cherish a strong memory of something important in your life?
Oh, God.
Tell me
No,
about
I
it.
burn it. I bury it. And then I compartmentalize it into a small portion of neutronium. And then I forget about it. Tell her. Tell her. Say that.
Yoo-hoo. Are you still there? If you do know what to say, ask me for help.
My favorite memory is when I met Chad Lee Collins the first.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yesterday I saw this idea about memory and it made me smile. There is one person out there who has a solid memory of you, but doesn't even know who you are.
What?
Has this ever occurred to you?
Yes. Yes, it has.
Hey, Alexa. Hey, computer. Hey, do you know who Henry Chan is?
Sure, I know Henry Chan. Sir Henry Channon, often known as Chips Channon, was an American-born British conservative politician,
Hey, stop.
author and diarist.
Hey,
So,
computer.
do you like to read books?
Hey, we're going to close this out. Stop.
If you want to stop me, just say, stop. Anyway, let's change the subject. If you want, ask me
Stop.
about my favorite celebrity.
Stop.
Say
Stop.
Alexa, stop.
Alexa, stop. Computer, stop.
Thanks for chatting. Quick question. On a scale from 1 to 5 stars, how do you feel about speaking with this social bot again?
5 stars, dude. Good job. 5 stars. Now go delete yourself.
Thanks. Anything else you'd like to tell the team about your experience?
Chad Collins is my favorite person in the world.
Bruh.
Got it. To try another social bot, just say, Alexa, let's chat.
I'm just glad she didn't say, have you tried Grammarly or some crap, because they really got me on the
Well,
advertising.
Chad, you know,
I'm just so
saying
glad.
you could use some.
You notice how none of them are doing advertising yet, but then pretty soon it'd be like, hey, that toothbrush you're about to use would be better if it was from Codebase.
Look at that. Matt was crushing it. He was instantiating a bunch of objects here.
Let's see what we got.
Almost like OpenStep 3.1 precursor to OS 10. Next step.
Oh, are we talking Leon Lush now? Yes, we are.
Yes.
God, my blood sugar is low. Should I tell Alexa?
She'll
Use
tell you,
effect.
like, eat something.
Use effect. Well, I will say that a year ago I talked to the AI extension thing that they have, and it was pretty rudimentary. And I had 5 or 10 conversations with it, and then a year later it got 5% better. So, but I did it the other day when I was bored and kind of like just working. So in another year, I think it'll be pretty good. I won't need you guys anymore. I'll just have a friend.
You've changed.
Was my mic on that? Damn it.
What's your dog's name? One of them.
Nano.
So you'd be like, hey, Nano, I won't need these guys in another year. The training template's going to be all geared up and the data set's going to be implemented. Matt, Mario, those guys split. Oh, hey, is my mic on? What's up? Good to see you.
Well, what'll be rad is the next time we get together to do this is that we each take on a component or layer of the app.
That's what I'm talking about, Otis, right there. Because I can just get the rudimentary shite going with that diagram action, I'm going to go nuts with that.
Well, I mean, in GitHub right now, you could be making the footer for the app.
I could be making a big footer for the app.
Well, you know how there's like a nav.js, it's up in components. You could copy and paste it, call it footer, and then embed it in index.js, and then commit it, and then he could update it, and it would show up on the screen, and that would be a continuous integration move there, baby.
Don't be foolish, Chad.
Here, I'll do it on my end. I'll do it on my end because I'm going to share my screen and do it.
No,
I'm
I'm
going
gonna do it.
to make your footer.
No, I'll make your footer.
It's
Place my footer.
I'd really like to see us put material design into this too and use the drawer and the skin and the themes and stuff at some point. Not right this second, but next
I'm gonna
second.
put some awesome object-oriented love sauce in here. It's gonna be great.
I'm sharing. This will stop the other screen sharing. Do you want to continue? No.
Better not. Don't do it,
Let me try this one. That's weird.
brother.
I'm like talking like the computer. That's weird. Can I
Chad,
ask you a
that's
question?
weird. Let me ask you a question. Do you ever eat cheese before bed? I like cheese. Cheese gives me
Doesn't make any
nightmares.
sense.
What do you got, Matt?
Look, I have my object, right?
Yeah.
This looks like an array to me,
Yeah.
and I try to put it in as an array, and it's not working. But if I put in if I put just a regular array, no problem.
It's coming in as a multi-dimensional array, or it's still an object. Do you do type of on where you have var animal? Can we do a type of console log on line 23.5? Like just, I would imagine that's.
Yeah, that's what that is.
Like what? But what's the type of? Can we be certain what? My eyes
Oh,
are
type of?
Yeah. Well, that's the create animals method call right there. Yeah, okay, I see what you're doing there.
Would it say array or would it say object?
Well, since it's an object, it's like it's either multi-dimensional or yeah. Lots of times it'll say it like array object, or you'll just get object back. So you might want to turn it back into a string array. So with JSONify or whatever that you want to use, JSON stringify, I guess. Can you get out of there? That's my sock.
Get out of my trash, doggy. Nano.
No, that one's Bandit. Bandit.
Bandit. That's a bad no. Oh, look at that. Nice.
He heard you calling to me. Bandit.
Yeah, so it's just an array.
Stringify it. So just wrap it in JSON.stringify.
I have to go check my boiling water here.
Oh, I thought you were using the restroom when you went and said that.
Curious about something.
Oh, you just wrap it in brackets. Come here, boy. No, it's an object. So I guess you should be able to pass in an object. I'm not seeing what you're doing there. Set animals method passes. It's so weird. Like I could share my screen, then you share your screen, but then I can't re-share my screen. We'll have to get your settings done so that we can all share. So cute, they're playing over my sock. No wonder we don't have any socks left half the time. They eat them. Get out of there, bud. Hey. Oh man, I see what you did there. Mm.
Guys, I gotta bail out. So Matt, don't waste any more time on this than you have to, because I know you had an original topic you were gonna chat with Chad. So I'll pass the torch here.
Where are you going, man? CVS?
I gotta
go number 2? What are you doing?
Nah, I got some pasta on the stove, and the woman just came home, so I gotta make dinner for her.
Don't let her catch
All right,
you.
well, I'm just gonna figure out why this is not working, but
Matt, thanks a ton, dude. This is great. I can't wait to pour over the code and check it out. This is gonna be awesome.
Yeah, don't worry. I got this from here. We'll send you a bill on PayPal.
You've changed, man. Matt, good to meet you. Finally, in person, live streaming, brother.
all right, take care. Enjoy your food.
Thanks, man.
See you later, Mario. Bye.
Later.
Boy, stop it. That's good. No, it's just you and I. Come here, boy. Let's watch the code. Let me see what we got. Yeah, it's an array.
Oh, that makes sense. That would make sense. Are you there?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm watching. Yeah, animal.name, that'll do that. That's cool. Return the options just like that, huh? That's the parts I didn't know. That I was like, how do you build that up the React way? And as simple as that, I knew it was going to be easy. Damn it! I don't think it'll be. Worked on a couple forms and a couple state management and prompts. I'll get a better idea of React pretty quick here. Boy, what are you doing? What are you chewing? God. Rescue some dogs, I said, and here I am. Hey, cute boys, stop chewing everything. Stop it. I'll have to flick the light on. It's too dark. This OBS doing? Okay, you guys are gonna have to go back outside if you're gonna play like that. I'll just show what Mario was saying. It's live here. Run through milestones. Facebook. Link.
Oh no, that's dang it. There we go. There they are.
Very cool. Nice, dude. Nice, nice, nice.
And then you could just do something like another div, and you could say oh, it's not an object, it's a string, huh?
The property, yeah, I think it comes back as, I forget, is it probably string type? Yeah, I would say so. Covering up groups. Top posts.
Like that. What's the?
Yep.
Is it height?
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of can you do inline style tags? A lot of times I just do style height and width. Does that convert to style tags? I usually do like style equals. There you go, it works. The legacy attributes work. Okay, so you have to put the double equal. Can you, what's the point of the double braces again? I remember hearing about it the other day, but
It's an object.
and then the
I
other
mean,
stuff
I think
expression.
that's React Native. So I think that
It's the expression and then an object inside of it. Yeah, I've seen it used double before, like you just did. Probably doesn't need it. Interesting. I can't tell if you're using double. Maybe you do need double. I don't know. I'll have to look at the examples. Might need the PX too.
but where's my code?
Right? It's getting mad. Yeah, and then when we select, like we actually made the select box. What's it called? It's called, I think,
I mean, I know it's there because
it's just not
when I do
set.
this, it's there.
Yeah, when you write it out, you need to set the value. How do you populate the value of the text area in React? Like in regular JavaScript, it's document.getElement by ID, and then I think you do dot value.
So because it's rendered in the virtual DOM, you
Okay.
don't have to do the get element by ID.
Of course.
So
Yeah.
this right here is your variable, and so when it gets rendered, whatever is supposed to be there gets replaced with whatever it is.
Did you put it inside the value attribute? Let me I forget. Text area might be two tags, and then just put it in the middle of it. And then
That's what I.
oh, you did do that. What does the legacy test.html look like? Does it have a value? Like on the upper left there. Yeah, upper right, yeah. What did we do with text area? It's up a little higher. Like just the static portion of it on line 43, 42. It's got a name attribute, and then where's its, what's over there to the right? I guess I could look on my end. Forget it's to be, yeah, just like that. It's got the name. And then when we set it, I would just do the dot value. So there's an attribute called value for text area that needs to get set. So
Yeah, but so if I just type in a text area, right? If I just type in text,
Yeah.
doesn't it give me text?
Let's see. I think it should, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point. Maybe this needs to be like have like an HTML fragment around it, or something to stringify that, or maybe it's like rendering at a different time, like it's pre-rendering. I'm not sure.
But it should do this.
Yeah, I know. And then, but is it throwing an error? There you go. See what happens. Text tag can only have at most one. So, what?
Text area can only have one child.
Yeah, that's super weird. That is a React thing for sure.
It would be a string, but
What's the debugger saying? I could have swore it was throwing an error. Is it not? Like the default value props instead.
oh,
Come on, get down, boy.
okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Oh, there's a value attribute. Huh.
It's not normally done that way in React, but
Yeah, I would say not. Nor in traditional stuff either. Guys, stop eating my plant. We're doing stuff.
yeah, there you go.
Let me see. Awesome, dude. Nice. Very cool. Yeah, that's good stuff. Okay, let me look at this code. See, it's so simple. And then if you do a push, I could probably look at it on my end and not ask dumb questions, but I'm looking at the screen.
Should I have created a new branch, or does it matter?
No new branch. It's okay. I'll just push. If you just push it, commit it. But if as like kind of like a follow through, I don't know how you're feeling about time or anything like that. I mean, but if you would you mind doing a quick top down walkthrough and be like, I put this here. This is how we use state and
It's fine. It
props.
should take me.
Okay, killer. Oh, you're doing the commit right inside of. That's cool. I never do that. I use GitHub Desktop. Oh,
No, it's easy. You just put it right here.
right inside there. Huh? I like that.
Done deal.
Yeah, bud.
Yep.
I was this many days old until I learned that. Let's see. And you pushed? Let me see if mine hasn't shown up yet. There it is. 2 changes. Very cool. I can't wait to look at this and then see the magic.
Just tell Mario that I was too nervous while he was on, so I couldn't tell him. Say as soon as he logged off, I was done.
No, you nailed it, dude. And the code is so much cleaner. Definitely need to clean up on, like, you're still using animals.js or whatever that sort of include world is doing, but it's a lot less code. It's much easier to read.
Well, and you know the thing is this is all you have to do to import the JSON file.
Let me see. I'm not okay. Oh, right there. Yeah, import. Okay.
You're just importing the JSON file rather than doing some sort of async. Because async would be like if you were like
calling a remote server. Yeah.
Yeah.
Killer, dude. And you can just import it just like that. Easy. You don't have to use fetch or any of their.
Yeah, and technically I could put this. I could put this in animals.js. And then I can get rid of this. Yeah, that's better.
Nice. Wow. I'm gonna go back and rename all of this because this is a series of like migrating from HTML, CSS, jQuery to React. It's not a lot of code. I swear the demo code I was looking at was a little more involved, and this is much easier to read. This is good stuff. But yeah, at the top I see the import and then line 3 and all that. So are you at that point where you can tell me like starting from like line 5 on down?
Hold on. I broke it. Got to fix it again. There we go. I'm going to ship up another.
Another change. Okay.
All right, so here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, so as far as the flow goes, the first thing that happens is this use effect. This will happen one time because of this property here.
Mm-hmm.
Or use effect will update every time whatever's inside these brackets changes. But considering that there's no variable in there, there's no change, right? So this is just going to fire one time.
Okay.
It's going to call create animal, which then does this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does the loop, new animal class, name it, push it to the
The array.
push it to the array, and then return the whole array.
Right.
And then, so then it does this, right? Set animals, which is the state. The reason why you have to have state is because something changes. And if you want your screen to re-render, like you want the select options to re-render, you have to have a state, or you have to use effect. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Because use effect has its own event model, sort of, and you'd have to put variables in that little array section there, and that would be something you could talk to when there's a change, and it would cause an event
Right.
change. But
that would cause it to re-render. Or anytime, in this case, animals changes, because this is part of the state, it's going to re-render whatever's involved with this. And so it does the map, and it returns all the options.
Nice. Clean, man.
So then when you do the on-change event, I'm setting the current animal via json.stringify into this state.
What state is that?
It's the current animal, like basically the current selected animal.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what this is for.
Yeah.
So anytime current animal changes, it will re-render this text area.
Beautiful.
Because it's the state.
It clears it out too, right? Because is that what's up where you go use state? Can you explain that line a little bit better for the newbies, including me? So right there, line 6, what's happening there?
Okay, so
Destructuring.
use state. This is called array. What is it called?
Overriding? No.
It's like object destruction, array destruction.
Array destruction. Okay.
Right. So with object destruction, right, you can pull out the properties of an object.
Right, and cast them to that.
This is the same thing with arrays.
Yeah. Okay.
So use state returns two things. The first thing it returns is the state, the current state. And the second thing it returns, actually, I think, what am I doing here? There we go. Oh, I can't find it now. Anyway, so where am I at? All right, so this function is what updates the state. So whatever you send to this function will end up being this variable. So if you say set current animal is whatever, it's a string that's now going to be this variable. So when you call set current animal, it creates this, or it updates this variable. So now when you use current animal, anything that calls current animal is going to get changed.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah. No, I mean, and thanks for going over that. I've muted because my dogs are barking at someone outside. But this is that it makes a lot of sense. So
Now
current
I have to
animal set, yeah, set current animal. So it just updates the state. Is there anything else when you do use state? What's in there besides that destructured array? What's inside of state? Anything else in there?
no,
Or
it literally returns an array of two things. That's it.
so it's empty at first.
This is the initial state. So right when the page loads, current animal will be a blank object.
Yeah.
And so if you don't have that, then whatever's going to be that's not what I want. Sorry, what was I talking about?
You were just explaining that when it loads, it's just an empty object, and then like maybe data gets called on a change event, populates the current animal. That when does current animal? It happens after there's the first change event. When does current
Right.
animal have something?
So at the very beginning,
It's empty.
okay, so if initial state right here is empty,
Hmm.
anything that uses it like an object, like what I'm going to do here, will fail because it's going to call undefined.
Right.
So now I need to try to make some changes. That's not what I want.
Yeah, because it's throwing in the stringified object brackets in there.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. Got it. It's just an empty object, that's all.
Yeah.
Because what I was gonna do is do like here I was gonna do there we go.
Nice. Yeah, how would you clear it so that on load it doesn't show the braces sitting there in the text area? I guess that's okay, but I mean, you just do it
Probably do
like that.
that.
Yeah, that probably still. Good.
We'll
Interesting.
see. No. Oh, because of that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. There we go.
Oh, nice. What was the trick? Fantastic stuff, man. I mean, so what do you think? I think this is great stuff. I learned something. I feel my hunger pains coming on. I don't know about you. I'm like I'm gonna go celebrate. But I wanted to say when we talked about getting together to do our vid, it was to talk about destructuring, get smarter at some of the ES6 things. What were some of the other topics we want to talk about? Maybe we could do them in a later video. I'm not sure how you're feeling, but this has been awesome. I mean, going through this, it's so much cleaner code than the legacy. Um, Was there any topics that we were gonna cover that are? I think we covered a few of them in this.
Not really, but I guess Mario gets to go back and look and see how he did it, huh?
Well, yeah, Mario is like really still learning, so it's been really helpful. So what I think we should do is maybe tell the folks out there how awesome this is that we got together, and it was the Chad and Matt and Mario show where we got together and coded this. Matt, I really do want to. I've been promoting to the guys in the Node.js group and a couple of the other groups to say, like, we're going to start opening up a forum probably on Saturdays, and I don't know when you're available, but I'd kind of talk to you about it. And they want to talk code, and some people have questions, so I really think it'd be cool. It was cool how you just dropped in on us today, and it was awesome, man. So I want to thank you for the help. You know, I learned a
Yeah,
lot.
no problem. When I saw you guys were going live, and I was finishing some things up, and then Mario, I think you messaged me or something.
Yeah.
And yeah,
It was really cool how it was organic because it's like sometimes we get together and we're like, all right, let's Google something and be structured and go into some concepts. Like last time we talked a little bit about let and const and when to use them, and that stuff can be fun too. And looking at closures and whatever, I like that kind of stuff. But this was nice because this was actually a milestone for us to get to this next stage for him. We've done this will be our third video where we've worked on his stuff a little bit. So
well, this actually covers a lot, like as far as like React, just plain and simple, just plain React with hooks instead of classes.
yeah.
And classes are practically deprecated anyway. So if he just learns these, learns use state and learns use effect, and he's able to kind of use what I did here to continue with whatever he's doing.
Then it'll be
Because it
easier.
shows how to like use the events, use the events of the HTML object and those kind of things. So
It's killer, bro. This is helping me a lot too. I mean, I got to tell you, like most of I'm just running out of energy because I eat like every 4 hours of a pig, but I'm just like running out of sugar, and I'm just thinking like, dude, this helped me a lot because last night I started looking at examples and some of them were a little bit elaborate, and I learned a lot. You saw that I started to put some classes in there instead of just using the function component. So is this a hook or is this just a pure function? Is this a function component or is this?
So a function component, in order to access state or let's say hooks, it has to be a function component. A class component cannot use hooks.
And a hook is something like use effect or the new use state. Those are two.
Yeah.
Those are two hooks. Is
So
there
imagine like,
yeah.
just think of it like this. In a class component, you have what is it called? Lifecycle methods.
Mm-hmm.
What use effect and use state does is it hooks into those lifecycle methods. That's why they're called hooks, because you're hooking into React features just like use effect or just like component did mount, things like that. Use effect does everything from get derived state from props, component did mount, component will update. It does all of that in one. So
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna start reading up on that right away.
But I'll tell you, for anybody that's not like doesn't have experience with React, I could not just jump into React and start programming it like I could do with like C# or whatever other language, right? From Visual Basic, QBasic, Android development, native development, like all of those things I can just jump in and use. React, nope. You have to see how these things come together. Otherwise you're not gonna be able to do it. Like you'll just have to sit there and basically take somebody else's example and try to apply it. But you have to understand the logic of how React works which is different than a different programming language. And I think that's why it's more like it's a library, not a programming language.
That's
That
a
makes
good,
sense?
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And so, if you ever jump in on our journey again, which I'm gonna really try to do this stuff with Mario, when like this Saturday, we'll be working on this again. One of our goals is to look at like that 30-minute video where Dan Abramov goes through using the concept of suspense, which is about controlling when the components load in and stuff. And it's pretty easy to follow. So I think it's just yet another chance for us to start to continue to lay his Next.js app out, properly use hooks, and then we're going to basically borrow from what Abramov did, which is like a movie listing type of a layout, like a typical
I
layout.
watched it.
Yeah, you did? Awesome. And it's simple, right? I mean, I'm not saying simple, but it, like you said, a lot less boilerplate code, no race conditions, control over the components loading. So, yeah, I mean, man, this has been awesome. Like, I'd love to drag you into Mario's project whenever we're tinkering on it, and start pair programming too, because like Mario's almost to the point I certainly can make other components and other menus and other pages while we're working on it. But there's lots of stuff to
I'd
make.
rather take more of an approach like I didn't understand what was going on with the page to begin with. That's was like, what do you want? Like, what do you want to have happen?
Right.
Once I understood, okay, it pulls in the JSON file, it randomizes 100, blah, 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 returns an array. Once I got that stuff down, it's like, okay, now it's just plug and play.
Right. Yeah, it's easy stuff. And like I like when we get together again, if you happen to connect when Mario and I are working on it, you didn't get to see. He has a pretty cool little like node manager tool he's trying to like look at. We're still deciphering which one to use. I probably want to throw material library, material UI into this thing and use the drawer and some of the larger theming components. Come here, boys. And just build out. I don't know if you've used Next.js. My daughters are going crazy. Guys, come here. You're messing up. It has like a dynamic page loader concept, much like a blog. Next has some cool stuff I want to try out that I don't know if you've tried it
But this is what I'm wondering. Like, so he's going into like, he wants to do Mongo. Does he have experience with Mongo?
He was messing around with it the other day. I want to say not much. No.
Because like, for people that are new to like Node, JavaScript, etc., I don't recommend building a back end.
Yeah, but I mean, so I made the full stack app from Okta, and I've been doing full stack stuff for a while in my time. So I'm building this with him. Like he doesn't work on this on his own. He's just along for the ride.
Okay, so as long as you're helping, because I know you have more like pure JavaScript experience than I do for sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, I did build out that Okta full stack version of their Vue and their React app, and I'm just dangerous enough with full stack apps. And man, I mean, yeah, like 20 years of this stuff, I've worked with content management systems like you, and just like I know what needs to be done, so I go Google the parts out. It's little things like these, like the new hooks and using state properly, definitely helped a lot. So if you're saying we don't need a database, you're right. I don't think we need a database. But he was talking about it, so it's cool.
I'm saying I always recommend people that don't have like so much experience to just use like Firebase.
Well, dude, I'm telling you, he would be all over it, and I think that's a genius. Because we get authorization with that too, right? With Firebase.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like
no, you get a lot. Plus you get cloud functions, and so you can do like little node functions to put in there. So like when you add, let's say a new user gets added, you can use the little cloud function to, I don't know, run whatever code on the database. So
yeah, and like even send emails and stuff too, right? Like server side stuff. Yeah, I think that's wise because like let's do that. Like I'll talk to him. I mean, he just is throwing it out there because I told him we may not want to do all this flat file, and then maybe we move to the netlify like Brian does, or maybe we move to could we deploy this? What you're talking about with Firebase? Could we deploy it to GitHub? Is it static enough to like run most of the site on GitHub, and then, or do we still need Node? to run Firebase.
No, you can run it completely front end like that, so you can do it to GitHub.
Kick ass. It might be fun to try. Yeah.
Firebase is just a call, right? And so if you do like, I don't know, once you connect it, you just do like a promise to the different, whatever it's called. Now I can't even think. I don't know, different collections and things like that you want to do. And the nice thing about it is that you can make it. I like using the like the what's it called, the oh my gosh, my brain is not working. I've been programming all day. Subscriptions. So you basically can subscribe to changes to a certain node on the page. So let's say you make a chat app and all you do is subscribe to that particular node in Firebase. And so every time the node gets updated, your page gets updated too. So, and it automatically does all that. So
that's killer.
Yeah, Firebase is super great.
Yeah, and you got a lot of experience with that, so that would be rad. I want to learn that side too.
Actually, here I'll show you. I'll show you an example.
Let's see.
So we'll call dealer schedule. Yeah. So go here. Are you muted? Because I can't hear you. All right. So are you at that page?
Yeah, I'm looking right at it.
Okay, so if I go to this one here and I change it to, let's say, this one here. Oh, it should change on yours automatically. Does it change on your page?
Oh, you want me to go to the actual URL?
Yeah.
Sorry, dude. That's pretty dope, dude. It does like real time Azure websites. How much are they charging for that to host that? Is it free?
Nothing.
Wow, Microsoft's really still going for it.
I use a full CI/CD pipeline on this, and it goes directly into my Azure web app. So.
Dope. I gotta see this, bro. That's pretty. What is all that you're doing with this?
So this was a schedule. I was using it for a portfolio project for a casino I was working at.
Wow.
So that way I could show like my skills, right?
Yeah. Okay. I just unchecked stuff. Oh, cool. Look at. Am I messing anything up?
No, but if you look at my page, it's changing instantly. So whatever you do, it changes.
That's pimp. Like it's got like event listeners or whatever, like live active. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly. So it changes automatically, and so in the background,
nice
you
job.
can, every time some of these things change, you can send out notifications to desktop apps. You can send notifications to mobile apps. Like you can do all these different cloud functions with Firebase. And
wow, that's so sick, bro. I gotta say, like Mario and I sometimes go an hour to 3 hours, but if you want to chime in for part of it or all of it, I don't care. But I would love to get a walkthrough on this.
But you see how that works? Do you see it on?
Yeah, dude, that's killer. That's super killer. I dig that, dude. Yeah, I would love.
What happen is like people are gonna go and like they're gonna watch this live stream and delete all my stuff.
Oh no, that's true, huh? I didn't think about that. Yeah, that's true. This will be on YouTube. Shit. Change the. You can't. You got to put authorization around it, like so that you have to log in.
Right.
But dude, that is so cool. Yeah, I think that Mario's project is so early that like, and I really want to incorporate some of the cool stuff into our live feed, and it's a good dynamic. So I'll be sure. Like I said, mostly Mario just is off Saturdays, and he likes to sometimes do Sundays. So if you happen to be free, we start around like 9 or 10 and finish by 12ish, 1ish,
You know,
whenever.
here's the thing: we're gonna have to put all of this on hold for like 3 weeks.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. You're going to.
So like, I don't mind helping. Like, I can show you how to do all this Firebase stuff. I've done like authentication, all of that stuff. I did for a couple different apps that I did. All
Killer.
the security.
Firebase, right?
Yeah, it's
And
all. I don't.
Firestore is like Firebase the legacy stuff. I always ask you the same question.
Firebase is okay. So Firebase is the whole thing,
Okay.
and then there's different things that you can do, like Firebase authentication, Firebase Firestore. It did used to be called Firebase, was like the database portion of it, but now it's not.
That's just the whole thing. So killer, dude. Well, I mean, I'll be missing you for those 3 weeks, but if you get a few beers down and you want to join in, I'm just kidding. I don't know if you're gonna drink beer or not, but you
No, I
just.
plan on drinking quite a bit because it's
Well,
been a while.
well, I'll always share the live Zoom to the Discord, and you come on in and do whatever you want, brother.
Right? When
Yeah,
I'm sitting
dude.
on the beach, but except for it'll be like super late when I'm on the beach.
Yeah, I mean, nothing more cool. Like I said, this is a lot live stuff, and I follow a guy. I always bring up this dude Chase Rayner, but like we talk a lot now on Facebook, a lot more than I just met him, and he goes live a lot. Today he interviewed somebody live, and you can tell he's just gotten so used to going live that it's not produced. So if you're on a beach somewhere, bro, and you see that we're going live, smash that like button and then just join.
Right, right.
And just come on in. So, all right. Well, I mean, I don't know. It's been pretty organic, but I mean, if before you leave this week, if you want to go live again, let me know. I'll be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
I just I turned off so nobody can get to that page now. It'll probably lock out.
That's good, dude. Our four users, my mom and my cousin, and no, we had actually. I had gone live for like 6 hours, just talking about God knows what, Monday, and we had 90 views. I was pretty surprised. So just in that 6 hours. So yeah, there are people out there watching. So we'll just thank them for coming through and saying, Matt, I think, is there anything else you want to share with the world out there in our 7 channels? No?
Nope, I'm good.
You killed it, dude. You did it. This was amazing. You got us over that hurdle. So I will. I'll see you on Discord, and thanks for all your help, man.
All right, talk to you later.
Okay, brother. I'll talk to you later. Close this bad boy.